Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. It's great to be here. My name's Mark and this is Friendship Shaving. Today I'm going to be shaving with my lovely 5/8 Joseph Rodgers straight razor. I'll be talking a little bit about how I dated this razor as we go along. Got a beautiful brush today. I really am enjoying this brush. You can see I've got my soap lathered up. It is King Charles's coronation coming up, and in honour of his wife, the Queen Consort, I thought I would use Southern Witchcrafts Carmilla Parker Bowls. See what I did there? That was clever, wasn't it, eh? It is actually the scent of a cloying, seductive temptress, based on a novella about the first female vampire. Tell you more about that as we go. So, I hope you are having a great day today. This soap is a strange scent. It says on the lid there some notes of nag camphor, frankincense and amber. I'm not sure if it's me or not. I have had the nag camphor soap from Sterling. It was too strong for me and too much of a strange scent. The scent of incense, wasn't sure about it, but this is quite different. I can definitely pick up some of the nag camphor, but some of the other notes are amber, sandalwood, frankincense, a bitter citrus, vanilla, honeysuckle and oak moss. So it's quite interesting. There's going to be some florality in it with the honeysuckle. And we shall see how we go with it. Yeah, it's that nag camphor, it's the main one I'm getting at the moment. I just find it very strange. Whether I will become used to it, I'll end up quite enjoying it. Sometimes that happens with a scent. I need to put a drop more water on this. I actually think that most of my lather is has disappeared into this knot, because there's not much left in my bowl. There we are, an interesting scent, and I will tell you more about the story in a moment. I will put the wiki link in the description to the video, because read the plot. It sounds a great story. It was written in 1872 by an Irishman called Sheridan Le Fanu, written as a novella. So yeah, very interesting. Now, razor today. This is a lovely little razor. It doesn't have the original scales, but I've got some lovely horn scales that have been put on there for me. A little bit of copper in the spacer there that you can see. Beautiful razor. It is a wedge shape rather than a hollow ground razor. 5/8 in size. I'll just lift the glasses and get going. And once I've done the sides, we'll come back there we are, glasses down, and on we go. Now the razor has some information on it, it's very faint now. But it says, Joseph Rodgers and Sons, Cutlers to their Majesties, number 6, Norfolk Street, Sheffield, England. And it has the 2 trademarks there, the Maltese cross and a star, that are associated with Joseph Rodgers. And sometimes I like to come back and have a look just to make sure that the first time out I dated my razor correctly, and also to see if there's any more information that has appeared online. Sometimes it can be very difficult, those of you that shave with vintage straight razors, it can be very difficult to date them exactly. I've narrowed this down to a 10-year period, starting with the address, which is Norfolk Street, and Joseph Rodgers and Sons and moved there. In 1782, I'll just double check that. Where have I written it? 1780, I beg your pardon. That didn't sound quite right when I said it. In 1780, so, you know, we were on our way, and also on the razor it has a city name Sheffield and the country of England. Now, in the 1890s, manufacturers became particularly interested in having an international trademark system, and certain agreements like the Madrid Agreement helped to establish that, and taxes put on goods coming into the US by McKinley. President McKinley, so-called the McKinley Tariff, also helped that along. So that dates the razor to 1890 and 1892, in between there somewhere, or after that date. So we've jumped quite a lot from that original date. Up to 1890. And actually between 1890 and 1892, I'm going to plumb right in the middle and say 1891 is the start date. of the possible range in which this razor sits. Now the other big giveaway, it says Cutlers to their Majesties, and that is Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. Now in 1901 Queen Victoria died and Edward VII succeeded to the throne. So from 1901 onwards it would have been Cutlers to His Majesty. So I think we can safely say that the date of this razor falls between 1891 and 1901. So I've got a definite 10-year period there. In which this razor sits. And that's very nice to have, I must say. So yes, an 18th century razor. And a soap whose scent is based on an 18th century story about the first female vampire who happened to be a bit of a lesbian as well. God, it all goes on, doesn't it? That's a lovely razor. As I say, it is a wedge. Rather than a hollow ground razor. But the triangular shape of the razor, it's not even, it's not an even shape like that. It tends to be, mine is a bit more like that. It's longer on one side than it is the other. I'm not sure whether that affects the angle of the shave or not. I think that without thinking about it, I've just kind of gotten used to that razor. And because it is a wedge shape and there is all of that extra steel in the blade that has not been ground out, it is a heavier razor than most 5/8 razors. Now, there's a lot of soap in here. I've got some in my bowl, thankfully. There we go. This is a beautiful brush, you know. It's made by a gentleman that has an Etsy shop, and when I look, he hasn't got any more brushes on there. So whether he still makes brushes or not, I do not know. But this one has this lovely swirling pattern that you can see. A lot of these swirled patterns that you get with acrylic brushes I don't like. But this one is very, very nice. Love the colour. And actually the shape of this handle, this lower section, you know, is just super comfortable. What a great, great gift that was from Sean. Thank you, Sean. Yeah, absolutely brilliant brush that is. Gonna just make sure my hand is dry before I pick up that razor again. We've had it all today in the show, haven't we? Kings, queens, vampires. Now I'm going to go with a 2-pass shave. wonder who first owned this razor over 100 years ago. I know around the 1890s, that was about the time that hollow ground razors were becoming more popular. So maybe this is one of the last razors from Joseph Rodgers that would have been a wedge, a full wedge. Using up old stock maybe, who knows? Very nice. My soap's a little bit thick. I could do with a little bit more water on my face. I'm losing a bit of moisture here, I think, guys. And I think that knot has definitely pinched a bit of my lather. Seem to be getting a bit of water in at the end of the razor, so I will be sure to make sure that I clean that and dry that very well. Oh, I've caught myself. It's a rare thing with this razor. I don't normally catch myself with this. It's normally very nice. Just give it a cursory wipe with a towel, and then I shall go in with some tissue paper later. It's got the barber's notch on this. Now apparently the reason for that is to help you open the blade, although I just normally do that, I must admit, but there we are. A lovely old razor. And I've actually bought another razor just last night. It was on eBay and it went up for, well, there were two. One I was not fussed about, but it went up for £5. I thought, well, I might as well have just a little cheeky bid on that. So I put in £6 and it went for £6.50. But the one I really wanted was a Metropole razor from Germany, and it had a patterned spine, and that went up for £5 as well. And by the time I joined the bidding, it was already up to the grand price of £6.50. So I got it for £16, which I thought was pretty good. Yeah, very good, in fact. So we'll see what that is like. There's a towel on the floor. When it arrives, I'm just going to use a bit of skin bracer today. I don't know if that really goes with... No, that doesn't really go with the scent of the soap, does it? I'm going to use a bit of this. Burrata white, a little bit of apple in it. That'll do for me. So I'll be going around. God, I'm dropping everything, guys. Razor blades in the sink now. I will be going around. Maybe smelling like Carmilla. That cloying, seductive temptress. There we are, that's a great shave. I really enjoyed that one. I really enjoy looking into these things and getting a bit of a story. And I know you guys like that too. So thank you for watching. You take care. I'll see you soon. Bye bye now.